Hi, my name is Christine. I'm a demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I am loving the June 2021 Paper Pumpkin Kit, so we're going to keep using it. I've got another technique that I wanted to show with this kit. So I'm starting off, this is thick white, and I've cut it at 4 1/4, so it's just a half sheet still, and I scored it at 8 1/2. Sorry, I scored it at 5 1/2, and I'm just folding that over because it takes less space that way and it's easier to craft on. And I've lost my, there we go, lost my bone folder. All right, so I'm just going to set this aside because I don't need it yet. And what I want to start with, so this kit comes with 3 of these sheets of vellum, and they have white print on them. So there's thanks, danke, and I've already used the word merci, but that's the other one. And this really fun flower. But what I wanted to show you was that you can use your sponges that we got in the March kit and the ink to color this flower. So I'm going to work on it upside down. So flipping it over, and it's easy to tell because your words are now upside down. So it's easy to tell what's the front and what's the back. Now it's going to be harder for you to see on camera what I'm doing, but I'll of course show you when I'm done. So I'm going to start with Evening Evergreen. So that's one of the colors that came in this kit. It's from the 2021-2023 color collection. And if you haven't got sponges, if you didn't get the March 2021 kit that came with this sponge, you can also use sponge daubers, which just fit on the tip of your finger. And I really like these because they kind of let you put, they let you be a little bit more precise with where you're putting your color. So I'm just sponging this onto the back. I'm going to try to stick to the green bits, but I may go elsewhere too. We'll see how this plays out. And so you can kind of intensify the color by how much you go over. And it's a little bit hard to see, even for me, what I'm doing here, but doing my best guesstimate. All right, so let's flip this over and see what it looks like. So you see that? Now we've got color behind the leaves. I'm actually going to add a little bit more down here because I find there's not enough. And then we're going to do our flowers. So just a little bit more with this one before I put it away. There we go. So I'm going to put the Evening Evergreen away, and I'm going to do the rest using the sponges with the ink. So I'm going to go into the Bumble Bee, which is the other color that came with this kit. We never get 2 ink spots. This is so cool. And I see that I've missed some leaves here. I'm going to have to go back with the green, but first I'll do this since it's out. But yeah, we got 2 ink colors this month, which is so cool. So I'm doing the biggest flower in the yellow. So I'm trying not to go right over the green, but it doesn't really matter if you do, I don't think. And there we go. I think that's saturated. Maybe a little bit more. So I'm squeezing the sponge to have kind of more precision on where I'm putting my color. So I think that's it for the Bumble Bee. And I did notice that I totally missed a leaf, so I'm just going to go back and fix that with my Evening Evergreen. And then I'm going to use Calypso Coral to finish it off. And I'm using Calypso Coral because if you've gotten the recent kits, you have this one in your arsenal as well. And I'm trying to show you something that you can do with the products you have at home if you haven't got a large collection. That's one of my favorite things about Paper Pumpkin, actually, is it really allows you to grow your collection of stamps, but also supplies. And Paper Pumpkin this year, I find they're really big on kind of teaching techniques, but not in a intimidating way. So you'll see the advert that I'll post for the, what is it, July? Oh my gosh, July kit is next. It's almost July. They're kind of going to teach us how to do a sort of shadow box almost technique with the cards, which is super cool. And given that it's Paper Pumpkin, there's going to be, you know, nice, easy instructions. And of course, moi to help you master it. So I hope you'll give it a try. So hope I'm not wrecking this by adding more color than I should, but let's see. I'm just going to flip this over in a minute. All right. Let's see what we've got. So it's subtle. Let's see if I put it on the way. It's subtle, but it's there. It'll look better when it's punched out too. So let's do that. I'm hoping it's dry enough. Usually I like to give it just a little bit of time. Yeah. But I haven't got a little bit of time. So let's just dive in. Actually, let's do our sentiment while we let that set. All right, sentiment for this one, I'm gonna keep it, yeah, I'm gonna do one of the long ones again. So for this one, I'm gonna use my favorite one in this kit, and it is sending hugs. I miss hugs, but hopefully we'll have hugs again soon. All right, so, and for this one, let's see, find my most predominant color is the Evening Evergreen, so we're gonna go with that. Actually, no, because that, yeah. I was gonna say no because we've got Evening Evergreen borders, but it'll still look nice. I just wanna make sure that it's straight. When you're using these longer sentiments, sometimes they bend a little bit when you put them on your block. And that is straight enough. I hope you're not seeing my head. All right, there we go. So I usually leave these attached and just take them out as I need them. I know some people like to go in there and completely take everything apart and separate the parts and organize the parts, and I think that's cool. I'm just not that organized. Okay, so let's put this card together. We will hope that this is dry enough that it's not just going to come off of my fingers. It's a really big piece. I'm trying not to bend it as well when I'm taking it out because vellum, you'll see the crease in it if it bends. It's a little bit finickier than paper, and I'm going to say that that's a word. All right, so I wanted to do this one as a, oof, I'm just gonna rinse my fingers here. It's a little bit messy. Okay, so I'm gonna do this one as a horizontal card, which I know I normally do vertical for some reason, but we're gonna do horizontal for this one. So I'm gonna place it this way. Ta-da. To put this on, I'm going to use glue dots. So you've got the dreaded glue dots that came with the kit. Sorry, that's what I call them. I find these a bit of a pain to use. I'm going to use my other Stampin' Up! Glue dots, which are just easier. So they just come on a roll. And I will say exercise caution when using the glue dots and try to put them where there's that white. That's a little bit harder to see now that we've got color all over it. Okay, so maybe the dreaded glue dots are the way to go. I think it's because my vellum isn't completely dry that these don't want to stick on. But you can't use liquid glue on these. You really do need to use glue dots. Oh my goodness, how embarrassing. It just won't stay. All right. It's staying on my nails though, but I don't want this color to just come off. All right, we'll do a different approach to this. I'm going to use these. Will they stick to the green? Yes, so they'll stick to the parts that are drier. Now again, I'm trying to stick to where, I'm hoping that they won't show through the color, is what I'm hoping. Oh, come on. What a pain. I've got a gel nail manicure and they really like sticking to that apparently. Gah. So if you try this at home, definitely a good idea to let it dry before you try to glue it. As you can see, what a pain. But I promise it'll look really good when it's done. So what I'm going to do now to save my sanity a bit, and I'm just going to blend this out if I can. I find I've got a bit of harshness with the Calypso. So, you know, just using my fingers and then cleaning those off. There we go. All right, so I'm going to put this down here. And you don't need a ton of glue dots because vellum is fairly sturdy. But I do want to put a couple more under here so that is stuck down. See what I did there? I stuck it underneath and I just pressed it down. It has no choice but to stay there. So I'm just going to do one more. There we go. That works for me. Then I'm going to put the sending hugs just over here. So I'll use I'll use dimensionals to pop that up just to give it a little more character. The kit also came with some evening evergreen twine, which you can use if you want to add some ribbon or bows or anything like that. So I'm just going to try to have this go fairly straight. There we go. And I do find it needs something, so I am going to add some of that evening evergreen. Just make a little bow with that. So this is my trick for an, oh, I don't have enough here. My trick for an easy bow is I don't actually trim it until I've made my bow. That way you're not wasting as much either. And there we go. So I'm just going to trim the ends on that. So there's our little bow. And I will affix that to the card with a glue dot. And I'm going to stick it just under the tip here so it doesn't really matter that it won't be completely, I'm trying to use my words here. There will be some sticky bits still there, but because it's underneath my label, it won't matter. So I'm just going to try to put this in. So I'm just going to lift my label a tiny bit and tuck my bow underneath. I I use this tool for a lot of things. So there we go. The bow is in. It's not going to move, and it just adds a little bit of a finishing touch. So yeah, so you can totally use sponges to color this beautiful image, the flower that came with your kit, and then I've just put it on a white background so it really pops. Added a teeny little bow with my sentiment, and otherwise keeping it super simple. You can add some bling to this, of course, or leave it plain. So I hope you like this one. I hope it inspires you to give it a try with your products that you're accumulating with your other paper pumpkin kits. And please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.